What's up, guys? We're at IEM, and it has been kick-ass so far.
Oh, yeah.
We got a ZVZ now. By the way, I want to talk about the ZVZ, but that TVZ was insane that we just casted.
Dude, Vortex is, like, way too good.
He is insanely good.
Just taking down a Korean. There was a possibility of having only 2 foreigners in the round of 8. But now there's going to be 3, it looks like. So that's, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
And, of course,
3 out of 8. And it's tournament as stacked full of Koreans as this one.
And of course, on top of that, you know, MC still getting through. There's still Protoss here. For Protoss players like Ro12 and myself, that's exciting for us. We can still continue to steal his builds as we cast this tournament. But about that, on to the CBZ. Artosis, your predictions, your thoughts?
This one's actually really, really hard. You know, SortOf is excellent ZVZ. We've seen him beat the likes of players such as Stefano. You can see he actually went through a fair amount of Zergs to actually even get here. Look at that. Giant, Paranoid, Lelouch, Bly, and Rhett. Those are some very strong Zerg players. But sLivko, he's like my guilty pleasure as far as foreign Zergs go.
Well, he is so solid. I'm really good at using Burrow as well here. ZVZ, similar to PvP in the sense that it is a fairly volatile matchup, especially in the early game. And though as you get to mid game and late game, it tends to stabilize, I guess is the word you could say, and it becomes much more of a position game. But early on, Banelings, you know, you miscontrol a few Zerglings even. You get a Roach corner and you can lose early. So sometimes you see these guys go for early aggression. Other times they go right, you know, into macro.
And we could see there that he's actually beaten Lelouch, Nurcho, and Vortex. Vortex and Nurcho are the other 2 foreigners that have made it into the round of 8. So sLivko, quite a killer, and that poor Lelouch. It's a punching bag for these 2 to get here.
It's rough. Rough being him. Countdown has started, so we're gonna get this game going. You guys having fun at the Intel Extreme Masters? Me too. Me too.
All right.
And the game is now on the screen. So let's go ahead and intro these players, which I need to hit this button so I know who it is. All right, in the red, in the bottom right, with an ID I really like. Show some love for SortOf. And in the upper left, we have our Zerg player. I think it's going to be a pretty even match. Give it up for sLivko.
All right, now we just got to take a look at their build orders. What are these guys actually going to do? So far, exactly the same. And this oftentimes happens up to a pretty high supply.
Yeah, it does. The map is Antigua Shipyard. If you've watched a lot of us cast, you probably heard me say this before, but 4th base on this map is generally taken here. Now here's why that actually matters. The watchtower over here, there's only one of them. If you could control this, you pretty much control the map. And then you can put roaches over to the high ground. Now, you could expand, let's just pretend that we're sLivko for a second. You could expand here, or maybe hide it in the main. But the problem is that Zerglings are so fast. The odds of you being able to defend that and not just have that get sniped are pretty low. So you really start to reach the boiling point when you get to you know, the late game, end game.
Yeah. Well, looks like both players going to go ahead and make hatcheries, go in hatchery first. And of course, they'll both be completely safe because they're both doing it. So far, it's kind of like a little truce area that they're at.
The Overlord coming up over here. Do you think we're going to see any Link Baneling early? I mean aggressive Link Baneling, not defensive.
You know, I feel like we will. You get Zergling speed relatively quickly in this matchup pretty much every single game. And why not put on a little bit of aggression? If you get a lucky Baneling hit here or there, you can actually just roll them over.
Yeah, yeah, it could be the case. By the way, their builds dead even right now, as you can see in the production tab here. We should see the extractor here started for SortOf. Otherwise, we're going to see a branch off here. And we do see the extractor. So maybe like a half, maybe a quarter of a second lead here for sLivko. I mean, not too much that we can, you know, make out of that, but
yeah,
he is just with the slightest lead, if you wanted to know. And while they're both doing the identical openers.
That's right. Where will they actually deviate? A lot of times when we see people open with the hatchery first, where they start to deviate is as they start speed and get like maybe a spine crawler out for some added defense. Okay, so we finally do see a little bit of a difference here. 2 queens being made by SortOf. Oh, never mind. The second queen starts for sLivko.
So far, mirror builds in this mirror matchup. I don't know where they're going to go from here. You're actually more of a ZVZ expert than I am, Artosis. So I have played Zork the least out of the two of us. What do you think they're going to do next?
Well, you know, they're going to have to start their speed. There's just no other way. You have to have speedlings out in the map. You know, start having little tiny battles with Zerglings, you know, running around seeing if, oh, do I have 6 here and you only have 4? I'll try to kill them off. Of course, as soon as you get speed, you want to try to run into the main base as well. But it looks like we might actually see SortOf try to do that already. He's going to have to turn around.
Nice deflection there. You know, it's been harder and harder to get lings into the opposing player's base in ZVZ with the queen range. Much more punishable. Spine Crawler tells us, especially with the Baneling's Nest here, that he's going to be playing defensively. The reason why the Baneling's Nest matters is, as you can see, this is the entrance point here. Instead of making it that big, he can make it a little bit tighter and probably block this off the queens.
Yeah, makes his Banelings worth more as well. Making the Zerglings clump up into a little area like that. Now, with both players getting that Baneling Nest, but only one player actually going ahead for the Spine Crawler, that's our first real difference with these two. Now, both of them getting their second gas even at the same time.
So again, very, very similar builds here. I think the only real difference is the Spine Crawler. Unless I am missing something. 2 gases here, 2 gases here, as you can see, just in different locations. I do like what sLivko's doing. I think it's smart to have 1 gas at this expansion. 1 in the main, just in case they get in there and they only see 1 gas because the other one's hidden well.
And we actually do have Deviation finally tasteless.
Talk to me.
For sLivko, we have him going for the Ro12. For SortOf, a lot of Zerglings in production right now. sLivko also getting a 3rd gas. This means he can make a lot of Banelings and Roaches. And now it is time. We are definitely going to watch SortOf go over there and attack. He's going to have to make a lot of Banelings and spread them out, though, because sLivko does already have some defensive Banes.
All right, now it's all about making sure, if you're the red Zerg, SortOf, making sure your Zerglings do not hit the Banelings. And look at that nice spread there, by the way, too. And he's going to take a peek here. Oh, my God, really nice.
Whoa.
He had just had that Zergling run right in there and hit the Baneling.
That's
so that way there's 1 less Baneling and a little bit less defense, and that really starts to matter. We have a queen wall here. I'm sure he wishes you had a wall in like we had over here, but enough about that. The attack is now occurring.
Indeed it is. The Baneling's trying to come out and get a good goal. Oh, my God, we just had so much die to sLivko's Banelings there. A great defense so far.
All right, doing a lot of damage, hitting these drones. How many workers have been killed, Artosis?
Well, so far we've had 5 killed by SortOf on sLivko, but, you know, even though he killed those 5, I don't mind the position sLivko's in. He didn't take too much damage. He actually hit some good Banelings in there, killing off quite a bit more than SortOf wanted to lose. SortOf's attack actually was very nice. It's just his stuff was too clumped up, and the 3 Banelings of sLivko stopped him from perhaps even killing him.
So we're on pretty even ground right now. Looks like sLivko is going to send out some Roaches. I don't think I saw a Roach Warren that was finished. In fact, I don't see a Roach Warren here for SortOf whatsoever. So he's going to actually turtle, make a bunch of Spine Crawlers and tech to Mutalisks, it looks like.
You know, he's got double Evo too. So with that melee and Carapace, I think he's actually going to go Infestors, even though with those spines, normally it is Muta. You know, if you're going for a lot of Zergling upgrades as well, it has to be Infestor, because, you know, when you go Mutas, you have to transition into Roaches. It's just kind of the way the matchup functions.
All right, so we have more Roaches coming out here. The upgrades here, as you can see, for SortOf, since he went the more conservative route, he's going to have a big upgrade lead. And, you know, if he's going to be going for, you know, Roaches like that, and let's say that, you know, SortOf has to switch back into Roaches, he's going to be pretty behind here.
Well, I'm excited to see if SortOf can start to get his multitasking really going, because when you're going for this double Evo Zergling style, it's so strongly based on counterattacks, on splitting up your units, and on making sure they don't really die, because the Roach army is actually stronger. Like, the Roaches will end up beating the Zerglings eventually, but you have the mobility, you have the speed, and that's really what matters with it.
Surprisingly, he didn't hit that change lane. I think he's going to let that stay there for a little while, because if he notices that, that's going to be bad. That's free scouting. And scouting is supreme here in StarCraft 2. Baneling Roach so far here for sLivko.
Yep. And, well, the Banelings are going to be very important. If SortOf accidentally hits into a Baneling, then sLivko could counterattack and just kill him off. So we're going to see SortOf start to put on a little bit of pressure with this 1-1 upgrade finishing up. He is getting ready for his Infestors as well. And here we go. There are no Banelings at the third base, but there's one right in front of it. Oh, a nice one indeed. He's going up the ramp a little bit, deciding to turn around, and that was really ineffective. Look at the supply of sLivko.
Meanwhile, down here, oh my God, he just did a run around. He doesn't even want to deal with these spine crawlers, and he is going to get all of these drones. The drones need to actually evacuate. They should not be attacking, not without backup of some sort. Link's coming down here now, trying to help out. There may be actually just too many roaches.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done so much damage. Look at these supplies, 52 to 1.6. Not surprised that he GG'd right there, Tasteless. sLivko with some great defense, and really, SortOf's attacks just never came together.
I love what he did there. He identified, okay, he's going for Infestors. So what does he need to do to defend? He's going to make a bunch of spine crawlers. Now, when you have a bunch of spine crawlers, they're very strong, and they're kind of, I guess, quote-unquote, mobile in the fact that you can plant them on the ground in different places, but he can just run by the spine crawlers, which is just genius. So he runs straight by that, and once he's in the base, there's nothing there to defend but the spines, so GG.
Yeah, and as mentioned before, the Roach army is stronger, so you have to keep the Roach army away from you until you have a good number of Infestors up to, help whittle them down, help kill off any Banelings that happen to be with them. And SortOf was completely unable to do that. He did not see that Roach attack coming. When he went to attack, did nothing. The Baneling over there got what, 7, 8 Zergling kills?
Yeah, and 5 worker kills.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is...
It's not enough.
It didn't do what he needed it to do.
Do you think he's going to play like that the next game?
No, I think we're going to see like a big variance of build orders.
Our map's Ohana, so this is fairly small.